A Toyota Camry takes about 18 hours to build from start to finish. A Rolls-Royce Phantom takes 450 hours. That's not a typo, it's almost 4 weeks of continuous work for a single car, done almost entirely by hand, inside a factory that looks more like a luxury hotel than an assembly line. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why and why nobody has ever successfully copied it. Every Phantom is built at the home of Rolls-Royce in Goodwood, England, a facility surrounded by grass, trees, and a literal lake, because the company believes workers do better hand craftsmanship in a calm environment than in a typical industrial plant. There's no clanging metal, no visible robots on the main line. It's quiet, deliberately. Inside, technicians train for years before they're trusted to work on the wood veneer or leather stitching. Some roles, like the wood shop, require an apprenticeship period measured in years, not weeks, before someone touches a customer's actual car. Here's a detail almost nobody knows: the wood paneling inside a Phantom often comes from a single tree, book matched so the grain pattern is symmetrical across both sides of the cabin. Rolls-Royce sources veneer, slices it into razor-thin layers, and arranges them so the wood grain mirrors itself, meaning the piece on the driver's door and the piece on the passenger door came from the exact same slice of wood, just flipped. If a customer wants their yacht's teak decking to match their Phantom's interior wood tone, Rolls-Royce will source and finish it to match. That's the level of customization we're talking about. A Phantom's paint job isn't sprayed once and cleared. It goes through multiple layers: primer, base color, and clear coat, and between certain stages, a technician hand sands the surface completely flat before adding the next layer. This is called flying, and it's done with wet sandpaper and pure human judgment, not a machine sensor. Some Phantoms use a signature two-tone paint split, hand-taped with a pinstripe line painted freehand by a single specialist, the same handful of people at Rolls-Royce responsible for every pinstripe that leaves the factory. The Phantom's famous Starlight Headliner is a roof lined with tiny fiber optic lights designed to look like a night sky. Each one is placed into the fabric individually, by hand, and customers can even request custom constellations or shooting star animations. It can take hours just for this one component, on top of everything else in the cabin. The hood ornament, the Spirit of Ecstasy, has been on Rolls-Royce cars for over a century, and the engineering behind it is stranger than people think. On the Phantom, she's retractable at low speed, or when parked, she lowers into the body of the car automatically, both to prevent theft and to reduce pedestrian injury risk in a collision. That single ornament is its own mechanical system, hidden inside a component most people assume is purely decorative. Rolls-Royce doesn't publish set prices the way most manufacturers do, because the standard car barely exists. Their in-house personalization division, Bespoke, will build almost anything a client can imagine into the car: custom art embroidered into door panels, family crests, even hand-painted seams that take specialist artists weeks to complete. The base price is really just a starting point. The final number depends entirely on how far a client wants to take it. A normal automaker would look at 450 hours per car and see a problem to engineer away. Rolls-Royce sees it as the entire product. They intentionally cap how many Phantoms roll out, because the value isn't just the finished car, it's the certainty that a small, trained group of specialists touched every part of it personally. Scanning this up would mean losing the exact thing people are paying for. So the next time you see a Phantom glide past, remember that's not 4 weeks of manufacturing. That's 4 weeks of 100 specialists, woodworkers, painters, stitchers, one pinstripe artist building something one decision at a time, with almost no machine standing between their hands and the final car. If you want to see where the opposite philosophy lives, a car built entirely for outright speed instead of craftsmanship, go watch the Bugatti Chiron breakdown next. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.